All right. So, what do you mean by nested for loop? We have seen so far. We have seen only one for loop, like int I equal to 1. Or let me just write in the editor directly. For int I equal to 1, I less than equal to 3, I plus plus. Now let's say I have some CISO here. So I am in for loop, right? So when I write this, how many times the loop will execute, Sitara?
Till I is equal to 3.
So how many times
So
this
3 times.
statement will print? 3 times, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will print 3 times. Okay. Now, if I use one more loop inside this loop, right? So let's say I'm using another for loop inside this loop, int j equal to 0, j less than equal to, let's say, 4, and then j plus plus, followed by CISO. Then let's say I'm writing like I am in inner loop, and here I am just modifying this and I am writing like I am in outer loop. Okay, now what will happen according to you, Sitara? We have used two for loops, and the first for loop is a outer for loop and the second for loop is an inner for loop. Then how many times this statement will print and how many times this statement will print?
So even the inner loop will print 4 times.
Inner loop will print 4 times. Okay, that's fine. For each value of I, right? Each value of 1, inner loop will execute 4 times. Okay, so let's start with the execution of this. Let's say I am currently having the value of I as 1, right? And this condition is true, right? 1 is less than or equal to 3. Now your compiler will come on this line of code. It will print this, right? I am in outer loop. Okay, and for this value of I, this loop will execute 4 times, because this is within the outer for loop, right? This loop, the inner for loop is within the outer for loop. So again, your new for loop will start from here. Initially, the value of j is 1, right? This is also satisfied. 1 is less than or equal to 4. This statement will print. Now the value of j will become 2. 2 is less than or equal to 4. Again, this statement will print. Then value of j will become 3. 3 is less than or equal to 4. Then this statement will print. And then value of j will become 4. 4 is less than equal to 4. Yeah, condition is true. Then this again, this statement will print. Now the value of j will become 5. 5 is less than or equal to 4. Condition is false. It will come out of for loop. And then the value of I will be increased by 1 and it will become 2. Making sense, Sitara?
Yes.
Yeah, so I equal to 1, j equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then value of I will become 2. And again, the inner for loop will execute 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then value of I will become 3. And value of j would again be, the inner for loop will again be executed 4 times. Likewise, right? So I will have this statement 3 times and I will get this statement 12 times. So let's run this and see. Okay, so let me just mark some differentiation here. See, so outer for loop is printed 3 times and inner for loop is printed 12 times. Okay, making sense for you, Sitara?
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah. So for each value of outer for loop, inner loop will execute until the condition is satisfied here. Okay, we mostly use nested for loops while comparing strings, right? We will see a lot of programs going forward uh, comparing strings in a string array or any sort of comparison. Then we will use nested for loop when you are looking to print 2D array. Okay, so that time also you use nested for loops. Uh, you use nested for loop while printing a star pattern or some pattern, right, wherein you use multiple rows and multiple columns. So for solving those questions also you use nested for loops. So wherein you have rows and columns. All right. So these kind of in these kind of uses you will use for loops. Yeah. So now you will be able to solve the pattern related questions, right, Satara? You will have to just uh, change some conditions here, and then accordingly you can print the different patterns, star patterns, like having the pyramid pattern, having the triangle pattern, having the rectangle pattern likewise. Yeah. So just practice it. In last assignment, I have given you some questions about star pattern. In this assignment also, I'll give some more questions about pattern, and then you can practice this nested for loops.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If any confusion, you let me know in next session. All right. Now coming to the strings. So string is something which we have discussed earlier also. So what is a string, guys? What exactly is a string in Java? Java or in any programming language, what is a string?
It is sequence of characters.
Yeah, sequence of characters, and characters as in what character? What type?
Characters, alphanumeric characters.
Alphanumeric
Anything.
characters. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Constant, anything, kind of variable.
So a string is a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes,
Correct, yeah.
right? So character could be anything, right? It could
Yeah.
be you know, digits, it could be alphabets, lowercase, small case, it could be any special character.
Special character, right.
Yeah. So everything is considered as a string if it is enclosed in double quotes. Okay. Now, what is the syntax for writing a string? So basically, a string is a data type which is quite extensively used in our computer programming. So this is the only data type which we most frequently use, right, in our day-to-day life while we are developing. I mean, while we are using any application, most of the data which gets transferred only in the form of strings. We hardly use integer, we hardly use character, we hardly use boolean, but string is the most frequently used data type. So in Java, what exactly they have done, the Java developers, so string is basically a data type as well as it is a class, right? So string is a class also. If anyone asks you what is a string is a class. You can create an object of this string class. We'll see how to create the object. Okay. So now there are two ways we can declare a string, right? So first way we have seen as string s, and then s we are assigning to, let's say, selenium. So this is also fine. This is the one way we can declare a string and then assign initializing that. me come here. So there are basically two ways. First is string s equal to let's say selenium. So this is one way, right? Second way could be string s equal to new string, and within this I am writing like let's say Java. So it can't be s because s we have already used, so s1. So here I am, what I am doing, I am creating an object of class string, right? So this is a class and this is an object. This is object reference, and finally this is an object. And what I am storing in that, I am storing Java in that. Understanding, right? Sitara and Disha.
Yes, Nitin.
Yes, Nitin.
Okay, so this statement can also be combined in one statement. So string s equal to selenium. Now if I print, let's say CISO, let's say s plus s1. So it will print Java plus selenium. Plus means like concatenation, and then it will print Java selenium. So there could be two ways to declare a string, right? One is direct declaration, we have seen it, and this is a class, so we can create object of that string class, and then we can pass the value. So whatever the value you pass in that string, right? So it will be stored in S1. Making sense, right? This statement is making sense for you?
Yes, Nitin.
Okay, so what happens when you write this line of code, the constructor of a string is called, right? And then the object is initialized with Java, right? So if I take another example of this to make you better understand, so let's say I have one demo object d equal to new demo, and then I am just passing something else. Okay, let's take that example when we will be having the discussion on objects. Otherwise, they will be confused. So this is how the strings are declared in Java. So there are two ways, right? So string syntax. All right. Now, so basically, let me come on the editor. Now within this string, I can write like small abc. I can write like string s1 equal to capital ABC followed by small abc, string s2 equal to, I can write combination of digits alphabet, then a special character, right? So this all is allowed in string. Okay. Now we will just talk about how the concatenation works in a string, right? So let's say I have two string str1 and string str2. String str1 is having selenium, str2 is having testing. Okay, now I will quickly write couple of CISO. Okay, so first is str1 plus str2. So this we have seen in past also. Second is using concat operator. So str1 dot concat str2. Okay, I can directly give the values here like selenium plus testing. I can write like here selenium dot concat, and under within the braces I can directly write testing. So this is also I can use. I can just concat selenium with, let's say, with anything else. Let's say plus 1 plus 1. I can write like selenium 1 1 plus 1 plus selenium. So quickly tell me what will be the output of first line, Disha, Sitara.
Selenium testing.
Okay.
Yep.
Second line,
Same. Selenium
Same.
testing.
selenium
Here
testing.
concatenating.
Okay. So selenium testing for all the 6 CISO, is it?
For till 14, I think it will be selenium testing. I'm not sure about 15, like what plus 1 does.
What plus 1 does? Okay. We have discussed this in past, no?
Selenium 1 1 and 1 1 selenium.
Selenium 1 1 for this, right? And 1 1 selenium for this.
Yeah.
But execution start from left to right, right?
2
So
selenium.
2 selenium,
Yeah.
yeah, that's correct.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So first it will add 2, and finally the 2 will be added to selenium. So 2 selenium. Okay. If I write like this here, then
Selenium 2.
selenium 2, yeah. Okay. So these are all ways we can use the concatenation in selenium. Oh, sorry, concatenation in strings. Okay. So we quite frequently use the string concatenation. Okay. String concatenation. Now, basically, we will talk about how do we compare two strings. Okay. So basically, there are two ways for comparing strings, right? First is the two-way comparison, and second is the three-way comparison. So first is the two-way comparison. And second is the three-way comparison. Okay. Okay, before that, one more thing. What type of outputs we get in computer programming? What are the different ways of getting an output in computer programming? Outputs in computer programming. So this is a general question. It's not specific to Java. What outputs you have seen, guys, so far?
Like program outputs. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever
program
we
outputs.
write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we get value-based output, right? Wherein we get
Yeah.
some value as output, right? So we are actually writing a program for getting some specific output, right? So let's say I am adding two numbers, right? I am giving some input 10, 20, and then finally I am getting 30. So that's called as value-based output or value-based result. Second is Boolean result, right? We get sometime true or false if we are looking for some, let's say I am using if else block. I am comparing something. If that is greater than this, or is lesser than this, then we get Boolean results also. Third type of output could be your dynamic result. That could be when you do not predict, but eventually that appears. So let's say you're getting some exception, right? So that you are not predicting, but because of the your code behavior, the result will be dynamic, that you do not know. Next one could be the constant based output. So there might be some time wherein you get some constant values as output. Okay, so there could be 4 types of outputs in computer programming, right? Now we have basically 2 types of comparison. One is two-way comparison and second is three-way comparison in strings, right? So two-way comparison, as in either it will return true or it will return false, right? So that comparison we do using equals operator, equals to method, rather operator, it is equals method. Okay. Now let's say if I have value 10 greater than 5, what it will return? It will return as
True.
true, right? Because 10 is greater than 5. Let's say if I have 8 is greater than 15, it will return false,
False.
right? Because this is equals operator will do that. We will see this in programming also. So 10 is greater than 5, that's condition is true and it is returning true. 8 is greater than 15, condition is false, it is returning false. Now we have another type of comparison, is a three-way comparison, wherein we use compare to method. Compare to method, right? So this could be, let's say I have some strings which I am comparing to another string. Okay, so basically it returns 3 values. So either it could be 0, it could be positive number, or it could be negative number. Let's say I am having a string s1 equal to abc and string s2 equal to abc. If I compare s1 dot s2, s1 dot compare to s2, it will return 0 because both the strings are same. So this is a 0, right? Both the strings are same, so it will return 0. Now let's say instead of this, if I am having capital A here and small a here, and then if I compare s1 dot compare to, it will return negative number. How that will return, we will see. Let's say I am having a small a here and capital A here, and then if I am comparing s1 to s2, it will return positive number. Okay, so this comparison is happening actually on the basis of ASCII values of characters. So we have ASCII value for A to Z is capital A to capital Z is 65 to 90. Small a to small z is 97 to 122. Then ASCII value from 0 to 9 is 48 to 57. Okay, so let's quickly come on the editor. Let's say I have, let me remove this, and I have something called Let me take some example. CISO control str1 dot compare to str2. ABC A dot compare to B. What will be the output of this? 0, right?
A dot compared to B, Z.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just told no.
0.
0 and -1.
Correct.
Right? So PQR ST. S is coming first, right? In alphabet order. T is coming later. So whichever is coming first, that will be lower. That will be smaller. If I write T here, T, and if I write S here, then it will come positive number. Positive number. You're getting this, Disha, Sitara?
No, I didn't get that. Smaller as in
Smaller as
Same
in
here. I didn't get that. Yes.
okay, okay. So see, this is the ASCII values we have starting from A to Z and followed by small a to small z, right? So S is having less value than T, right? Here,
oh,
right? So S is smaller than T,
right.
right? So whichever the number is coming first, if that is smaller, right, then it will produce the negative result.
Okay.
Okay, and if that number is coming first, which is larger than the next number, next digit, or then next alphabet, it will produce the positive result.
And that has nothing to do with the uppercase and lowercase, right?
No, it has to do with lower uppercase and lowercase. If I write capital small s here, then the ASCII value of small s is too much bigger than capital T, right? Then the difference would be huge. It will produce a big negative number.
Okay.
See, -31.
Okay.
Okay. So couple of more examples for this could be, instead of this, if I write CISO A dot equals B. CISO A double equal B.
Hi, Nitin. Naresh here.
Hi Naresh. Hi. All right. So if I
I have a question. When you're
yeah Naresh, go
one
ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're using compared to method, right? S1
Yeah.
and S2 in the below. So it will compare only the first letter in the string.
Yeah. So what happens is
Like T and
once you get the difference, right? Once you get the difference, then it will not move to the next letter. If I am having same letter here, then these two are same, these two are same, then actual comparison will happen in L and S.
Okay.
Small and L and small s. So L is smaller than S, then this will produce the negative result. Let's run this and see. So it is producing negative result, right? So actual comparison has happened between L and S. Yeah. So coming to
So
this,
actually,
yeah.
where do we use this? Like minus and plus value we are
So
getting positive.
we will be using this while comparing some strings, right? So there are three ways of comparison. You can use equals operator, equals method, you can use double equals, and you can use compare to method. And uh, basically there are two types of comparison we use. One is two-way comparison and second is three-way comparison. So double equal or equals to method are part of two-way comparison wherein they will produce true or false result only. Compare to is basically part of three-way comparison, whereas it produces 0 if both the strings are same, if it produces positive result, if the 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 if you are comparing that with the smaller string with the bigger string, and vice versa. So it is just for comparing the strings.
Okay.
Okay. So in this example, A compared to V it's completely as in both the strings are same, it is producing 0. A equals to B, because equals to is part of two-way comparison, it is producing true. And A double equals to B, it is also a part of two-way comparison, it is producing true. If I write capital A here, it will have some different results. So in this case, what will be the output here? A dot compare to B.
False.
False.
Positive
As
or
in,
negative,
one.
it will be
Negative.
Negative one. Are you sure? So A is bigger, right? The ASCII value of A is more than ASCII value of capital A.
Yeah, capital small a is starting from 97, right?
Yeah, small A is starting from 97 and capital A is
97.
having 65. So value of A is bigger, right? More than small A. The value of small A is more than capital A. So it will give
So it will
26
get
as result, right? 26 as result.
26.
32 as result, because the difference between 65 and 97 is 32. Is this making sense or not? This comparison compared to how it is getting positive result, how it is getting negative result.
Yes.
So it will take the difference, Nitin?
Yeah, it will
Small a
take,
and
it will take the difference.
okay.
Value of capital A is 97 and value of small a is 65. So what is the difference? 32. Difference of 97 to 65 is 32. So that is what it is printing here. In this case in this case also, you can see the difference between L and S would be of 7 letters, right? After L, you will see M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and S is coming after L, so that's why you are getting -7. Making sense, this comparison?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so this session is going to end in a minute. Let me stop share, or rather, let me just go to the notes. Okay, so Selenium Java, and then followed by space, and then Selenium Java. So either plus or concat, right? Either string we can use. Next is equals. See, so s1 dot equals to s2, or let's say s1 dot equals ignore case s2, or let's say s1 double equal s2. Okay, so these two are same, s1 equals s2, s1 double equal s2, but this will ignore the case, right? So instead of this, if I write small selenium also, so it will return true. capital selenium also, so it will return true. Making sense?
First S1 dot equals S2 will be true now because both
True.
are in caps, right?
No. Yeah. 1 second. So small, yeah.
Yeah.
So earlier I
Yeah,
was right.
now it will be false.
Yeah.
The second one will be true, and
Yeah.
third one will be false.
Correct. Any confusion, Naresh, Satara?
No, Nitin, understood.
So basically we are concatenating.
Okay.
So it is actually giving the false, true, false. So rather I should write in a separate line. See, so Control H and now. So the output of first is false, the output of second is true, and output of third is false, right? Okay. Compare to, then S1 dot compare to, okay, S1 dot compare to ignore case, S2, right? So similar to this equal ignore case, we have another method called compare to ignore case, right? So in this case, what will be the output, guys? This is capital S, this is small s. So whether it will be positive or it will be negative, I want answer from each of you.
It will be false.
False. Why false?
S2 is small. I mean, it is not in uppercase. It is in lowercase for S2.
So false or negative?
To ignore case, negative. I mean, negative.
Negative, yeah, negative. Okay.
Yeah. And the second one will be positive.
Second one will be
compare.
positive or true or zero.
True. Compared to sorry. Compared to ignore case, yeah, true.
True or zero, Disha?
True, right?
See, this is three-way comparison,
Teacher.
right? Either it returns zero, it returns positive, or it returns negative.
Zero.
Why it is negative? Because S1, the value of S is smaller than small s. Value of capital S is smaller than capital S.
Yeah, correct.
Sorry,
Zero,
value of capital
yeah.
S is smaller than smaller s. So that's why it is giving negative here.
Negative.
And but I am here, I am ignoring the cases. So these two strings will be same, right?
Yeah, zero.
Zero. Disha, sorry, Satara or Naresh?
Yes, the answer is right. For this one, it will be negative because based on the calculation, it will be negative value. And second, since it is ignoring the case, it will be zero. True.
Okay. All right. So, Naresh, any confusion here?
Can you explain me the compared to ignore case one?
So compared to ignore case is actually comparing after ignoring the case. This method is comparing the strings after ignoring the case. So basically what happens, compare to method returns either zero if both the strings are same. It returns negative if the first string you are comparing having less value than second string. It returns positive if the first string you are comparing is bigger than second string. Okay. So here the first string, as in it will compare capital S to small s. So the ASCII value of capital S is somewhere would be between 65 to 90, right? And ASCII value of small s would be somewhere between 97 to 122, right? So the value of s, capital S, is smaller than small s. So that's why it is returning negative value. But here S1 and S2 are compared after ignoring the cases. So both will be treated in same case. So there won't be any difference of capital S and small s here, and both strings will be treated as same string. That's why it is returning 0. Making sense, Naresh?
Yeah, yes, Nitin.
Okay. So the next method is char at. So so basically, how these strings are allotted in memory is like, though the length of string is 8, but actual allocation starts from 0 to 7. So the index starts from 0, right? So the s would be will be allotted at 0 position. The address of a string would be starting from 0 actually. So let me just draw a diagram here. So let's say I have selenium here, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, so here I have value as 0. Here I have value as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here I have S, E, L, E, N, I, U, M. Okay, so this is how it is actually allotted in memory. So basically the index as in the address of S is 0. Address of S is 1. E is 1. Address of L is 2. Address of E is 3. Address of N is 4. I is 5, U is 6, and M is 7. Right? So this is how it is allotted in memory. So length is 8, but in memory it will start from 0 to 7. Okay, and if I am looking for character CISO, let's say S1 dot char at, so it will ask for you for the index. So you can give any index within 0 to 7. So let's say I am giving index 7 here. So what is the character at index 7?
M.
What is the character at index 7? So these are the indexes. 0,
M.
1, M,
M.
right?
M.
M. Okay. And if I give 8 here, then what will happen?
Index out of bound.
Index out of bound. Okay. Okay, so let me give 7 here first, and then let's run it. So it's AM here. And if I give 8 here, then it will print index out of bound exception. But will all these statement print before the exception, or how it is, Disha? Or it
Yeah,
will
it will
directly give
print.
the exception?
No, it will print all the above code, whatever is there, and then it will give the exception, index out of bound.
Okay. Yeah, so it is string index out of bound exception, because there is nothing at index 8 as of now. Making sense for you, Naresh?
Yes, Nitin.
Okay, if you have any confusion, interrupt me in between. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, fine. Right, so that was like how we can get the index of any, how can we get the character at any index. Next is like if I want to know the index of any character, then how will I use that? S1 dot index of, or let's say I am giving E here. 1 second, it's not indent, it's the index of E. It should be in small quotes because this is a character, right? So index of E, what value it will return? I have two E's in Selenium.
Index of 1.
Index of E, I have two E's in Selenium. So what index it will return? Whether it will return 1 or it will return 3?
I think it will return 1.
It will return 1. Okay. So yeah, that will return 1 because that's the first occurrence of E. So basically it starts from left to right, and whenever it gets first occurrence of E, it will return 1. It will return that value, that index. And if I want to get the index of next T, then what I have to do? What changes I have to do? So I will have to use another index of this. So here it would be S, and then here it would be S1 dot index of S, sorry, E plus 1. So what I am doing here, I am getting the index of first T, right? And then in that I am adding 1. So it will check from that position. So it will start searching for this E after index 2.
Sorry, Nitin, I didn't get this.
Okay. So this, what it is returning, this is returning the first occurrence of E. What is the first occurrence of E in this? This is 1, right? In this example, this is 1.
Yes, 1.
Right? Now I want to get the index of second E, or maybe after any this, after first occurrence. Then how will I get that? For that I do have another method that is called index of, want to just check the method first. So S1 dot index of, see, this is the method, integer character. For which character you are looking for? E, right?
Yeah.
And then from which index you are looking for?
From which index?
You're looking
From
from index 2, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know at what position the first E is available right now. So
Why
either
we are looking from index 2?
because because index this is available at where is the diagram?
Pent.
Yeah. See, this is at index 1, and after that only I will have to check, right?
Okay,
I will have to
after
start
1,
from
that's
after
why.
1 only, right?
Okay.
Okay, so it will, I can write like this also, in S1 dot index of E, and then followed by 2. This is also fine. It will give 3.
Yeah,
This method
that's
will also
fine.
give 3. Here, what I am doing, I don't know the position of first occurrence of E. So I am first getting the position of first occurrence of E.
And after that, +1. I
Adding
got
+1,
it.
and then the searching should start from second index.
Okay.
Okay, so these two will give 3 as output. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, don't be confused with this. This is just this method which we have used in this CISO, and I am adding +1 in here. Satara, any confusion here?
No, I've just noted it down.
Okay. All right, so next is and you will have to practice, guys. So there would be some programs around this and you will have to practice a lot, right? So these are the frequently used strings methods which while writing a program. One second, I'm getting a call, guys, just give me a minute. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. So next one is length character compare equals starts with. Okay, starts with. So that is actually applicable for big strings. So let's say I will write like India is a great country. Okay, now I want to see, this is the string, guys, and now if I want to split this string into a string array, right? So let's say I want the output like India is separated, is separated, A is separated, great is separated, country is separated. Then how can I do that? So I have one method called s1 dot split string using space, and this will return one array of string which I will store in string s2. Okay, s2 is already used, so I will use this in s4. Okay. Tomorrow, what will happen, guys? An interviewer will ask you to reverse this string. He will say that please reverse this string, and I want the output like let's say country great is India, right? So this is a long string and he wants the output like this. How will you do that? So for that we have one method in a string class, that is split, string dot split using any regex, wherein this space is a regex here, regular expression here. So I am splitting this string, and then where I am storing this string, all those splitted string is in string array, right? So it would be similar to S4 would be similar to here S5 would be actually similar to here India comma is comma a comma great comma country. Okay, so this S4 would be similar to S5 what I written in. This function has splitted it into multiple smaller strings, using this split, using this space regular expression, right? And if he wants you to just reverse this string, what you have to do, you have to perform operation on this string array. Now if I want to print this string, what I have to do, see, so for int I equal to 0, I less than s4 dot length I plus plus, followed by c, so then s4 of I. Or maybe if I want the reverse of this, I can just start from s4 dot length equal to length. Okay, so it will just reverse your string. Let's run this and then check. Country great is India, right? Okay. See the output here, country great is India, and here I am having India is a great country. So this is a frequently used question, guys, in interview, right? So what we do, we using any regular expression, either comma or either spaces, you will have to split the string first using string dot split method, and then it will actually return a string array. Okay, and then you will have to start one for loop, and then you will have to just print the string from the backside. Is it making sense, guys? This method is making sense or not?
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah, Nitin.
Right. Then we have, okay, index of India is a great country. So let's say if I am looking for some index here, let's say I am looking for some index of is system dot out dot println s1 dot index of I will have to use is. It is returning 6, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Okay. So instead of a character, you can use a string also here. So I am just checking the index of is here. S1 dot index of is. So it will start, the index will start from 0. 0 will be I, 1 will be N, 2 will be D, 3 will be I, 4 will be A, 5 will be space. And since is located at 6 index, so basically it is taking the first value. 6 and 7 will be assigned to I and S, but it will take the first value of is, so that will be 6. That's why it is returning 6. So index of a string also you can get. Okay. Now, how do I get substring of this string? If I want, let's say India is a great country, I just want great country here. So I have one method, one function here, one method in a string. See, so s1 dot substring beginning index. We have 3 methods here. So beginning index, let's say I am looking for something starting from index 6. So it will just print the string starting from index 6. So let's run this and check. Okay. So is a great country. So it started from string 6, index 6, and then all the string after that is printed here. It removed India. So you can just trim the string also using so you can just use the substring method, and you can just print the string starting from a specific index. If I want some string to be printed from one index to another index, so I can use substring beginning index and index. So beginning index would be, let's say, from 6, and index, let's say, until till 6, 7, 8, 9, until till 9. So what it will print? Is A. Yeah, correct. It is not printing is A because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, so this index is not actually added. So I will have to put here. So end index, before the end of index it will print. So now it will print A. Is A. Okay, so that is another method. Now we have one more method called trim. So let's say I have some spaces before this and some spaces after.
For example, what was the difference, like 6, 9 and 16?
Yeah. So
9 also it will come.
I can hear some whistle of cooker, pressure cooker. If you're not speaking, can you be please on mute? Yeah, so what was the difference, Naresh, here? It took the length less than whatever is the end index. So earlier we have given 9, so actually it is taking up to 8. So we can see returns the string that is substring of this string. This substring begin at a specified begin index and extend to the character at index and end index -1. So thus the length of substring would be end index minus begin index. So 9 minus 6, it would return 3 starting from 6. It won't return 4. Making sense? So basically what happens, you are giving the beginning index, you are giving the end index. So it will calculate the difference of this. So it would return 3 characters starting from index 6. So it returns 3 characters starting index 6. Okay, so what was the value at 6? This meeting is going to end in a minute, guys. Okay, so what was the value at 6? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was a value at 6, then 6, 7, 8, right? So from 6, it will print three characters. So I, S, and A. So that's why it did not print A. I, S, and space. If I write 10 here, then the difference would be 10 minus 6. It would return 4 character and starting index 6. Making sense? So that is how the substring would work. Okay, so the next method is trim. Therein you can trim your string. So s2 dot trim, right? So what it will do, it will just trim all your spaces from the beginning of the index and from end of the index, and then it will just print the string, the characters. See, this is the magic here. It has trimmed the spaces in the beginning of the string and it has trimmed spaces at the end of the string, and we are getting only the fresh string here. Okay, so if you want to remove unwanted spaces from anywhere, you can just trim it. All the leading and trailing spaces are removed. See the definition here. Returns a string whose value is a string with all the leading and trailing spaces removed, where spaces are defined as any character whose code point is less than or equal to this. Okay, so this is again a kind of useful string wherein they will give you some string, right, in the form of this, and then they will ask you to remove this string. Okay, so this meeting is going to end in a minute, guys. So I will give you an assignment. You can just try it now. What I want uh, a string to be reversed. So I have one string, let's say maybe welcome. Okay, I want this string to be reversed, and I'll check each of yours editor. So there are 2-3 minutes before we are joining for another call, and in that you can try this. I want the output like starting from E M O C L E W. Okay, let's try this, and then I'll just mute you in another minute.
I like to show you this because I'm taking call from my mobile. So not be able to do this. Is that okay?
Okay, what are you saying, Naresh? Just be louder.
Actually, I'm taking this call from my mobile.
Okay, no problem. Okay, then fine. Then you try after some time then. This thing, and start sharing the screen. So we have seen couple of methods in string, right, which are quite useful. So let's say I am looking for some index of a character of a string which is actually not there in a string, right? So I have, let's say, looking for index have here, or maybe I'm looking for, let's say, index selenium here. So what this will do, this will check for the index of selenium in string 1 s1, and it will not found this selenium within this string, right? So what will be the output? It will return -1. If you don't find any string, if you don't find the index of desired string of character, it will simply return -1 here. Let's run this. So it is returning -1 here. If the string is not available, or the character is not available in the given string or given sequence of character, right? So this is another example. And then if you are looking for replacing one character to another character, we are having one so let's say s1 dot replace char old character, char new character. Okay, so I can give, instead of this, I can give here, let's say I can print j. So instead of I, replace it will replace I with j. Okay, in string s1. So I have I couple of times here, 3 times here, right? India is having I 2 times, is having I 1 time. If I run this, I'll get J and D, G, A, J, S is a great country. Okay, so this is another useful method in string, right? And if I'm looking to replace, let's say, space with nothing, this won't be actually accepted. Okay, so if I'm looking to replace spaces with nothing, right? So it will just remove all the spaces from the given string. Okay, so this is another method we have. All right, now coming to split, we have seen trim we have seen, right? Yeah. Okay, now we have one more method called s1 system.out.println s2 to uppercase, right? So it will convert the s2 string to uppercase. Okay, and it will print. So all the characters in Selenium is converted to uppercase. And if I'm looking to change from any case to lowercase, let's say s3, what is the string at s3? Automation. So s3 to lowercase. Say I will write here QWERTY. So QWERTY in small case. Okay. So to uppercase will convert all the character to upper and then print. To lowercase will convert all the letters to lowercase and then print. Okay. Split we have seen, then trim also we have seen, right? Trim we have discussed, right? Wherein it is trimming all the spaces.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. Okay. I think so. These are all the important, string methods basically frequently used. So you should practice this all, and using these methods only you can solve multiple string questions. So you will have to use these methods with combination of other methods, and then you will be able to solve multiple string questions. Okay, now moving on, then we see why, I mean, you would have heard also, we say strings are immutable object. What do you mean by that? Why strings are immutable object? Why they have created strings as immutable object? So strings are, whether strings are immutable or not, and why? Or not, and then why? If yes, then why? If no, then why? Any idea what is the immutability?
That we cannot change the value.
We cannot change the value.
Strings cannot be changed.
Okay, let's say I have one string, string s1 equal to, let's say, data. String s2 equal to, let's say, base. Okay, now what I am doing, I am just writing s1 equal to s1 plus s2, and then I am printing s1. I can change it, right? See, earlier I have given data to s1, and now I am giving database to s1, so it is changed. Naresh?
Yeah, I'm thinking of it.
Okay. Any idea about this Disha and Chitara?
Can you please repeat? Sorry.
1 second, I'll just erase all. Okay, so what I was saying, we say string as immutable, right? So strings are immutable object. What do you mean by immutability, and whether strings are immutable or not? Okay, so immutability as in strings are definitely immutable, they cannot be changed. What Java developers have done, they have made strings immutable. So once the string is declared, it cannot be changed, right? But how and why? How it cannot be changed and why it is? So we have seen this example here. I am defining two string s1 equal to data, s2 equal to base, and what Naresh said, that you cannot change the string which is already declared. But I can change it. I can change the content of s1 and then I am printing it here. But then how it is immutable if I cannot, if I can change this? This is again a frequently asked question in interviews, guys. So let's say I am having one memory, Java memory here. I'm having one, let's say, text Java here or data here. I'm having one text as base here, and I am having one text as database here. Okay. Now, first, what I did, I assigned data to S1. Okay. Then I assigned data to base to S2. In memory, it is happening. See, this is in memory. Okay. The initial value of S1 is data, initial value of S2 is base, right? Now I am changing the S1 value to data plus base. The actual value of S1 plus S2 will become database and it is actually assigned to database. Now what will happen? It will actually, S1 will be referring to database in memory and this will be actually cancelled. See, the string is there. String is there in the memory. The reference string reference is changed. So string content cannot be modified. Is it making sense, Disha?
No, I'm not getting it. Sorry, Nitin.
You're not getting it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So let me take another example. Okay, let's say I have Java in, let's say I am declaring one string with Java. Okay, fine. So I have declared one string in Java in memory. Now tomorrow, let's say you are declaring another string in memory with Java. So it is actually having S1. Okay, so I am having one string in memory which is having Java as value S1. Now tomorrow again I am declaring another string with Java. Okay, now what will happen in memory? Since Java is already there in memory, so what compiler does, it searches the memory if that particular string is available in memory or not, just to optimization, just for optimization purpose. So it will find Java and it will assign S2 to Java. Okay, so both S1 and S2 will refer to the same object in memory. Why it is done? It is done because of having some memory optimization. The string is quite extensively used object, and if they give the freedom to store string for every new new data, a new variable, then it will occupy a lot of memory in Java. So that's why they have done some optimization in memory. So if the string is already available in memory, if particular string is already available in memory, and you are defining that string again in your program, it will check whether that string is available in memory, and it will the new variable will refer to the old string only. And tomorrow, if you are doing it for third object, right, S3, let's say S4, S4, S5, S6, S4, S5, S6, you are having multiple Java, you are having multiple string with Java name in your program. So all the strings will be referring to this same string only. S4, S5, S6, right? So your memory is optimized, right? You are not using the memory to store the same value, right? So your memory is optimized in this way. Now, let's say I'm changing the content of S2 tomorrow. I am changing the content of S2 from Java to Selenium. Now, what will happen? The object reference of this S2 from here, it will be cancelled. Okay, and then S2 will be somewhere having either Selenium will be there already or not. If it is there, then it will refer to that object. If it is not there, then it will create new and then it will refer to this. Then this reference will be cancelled. S2 reference to Java will be cancelled. Right. So actual string content is not modified.
Okay.
Making sense? So the first reason why they have done it for memory optimization. And second reason is security, right? Security as in strings is quite frequently used data type or class. So if you change the string quite frequently, if you are able to change the content of the string, then it would be threat to the security of the personal information of any user, right? If I am able to modify this string itself, right, uh, uh, Java to Selenium, then all other references will also be changed, right? Making sense? So let's say
Yes.
if I am changing this Java to Selenium, and if that immutability is not there, then because of changing this string, all other strings will also be changed. So that's why for the memory optimization purpose and for security purpose, they have made the string as immutable object. Okay, and let's say if you are where is the diagram? Let's say tomorrow if you are changing S2 to another string, right? Let's say to automation, then again this reference will be cancelled, and S2 will be pointing to new reference. That would be automation. Okay, and finally the garbage collector will destroy this object from memory to free up the memory. Okay, so actual content cannot be modified of a string. That is what is the meaning of immutability. All right. Any confusion, any questions here with regards to immutability? You can verify this using example also. We can, check the address of S1 and S2. So using address, what you have to do. So let's say I am having Java and yeah. So what actually it will do? Okay, let's leave it. I'll have to check how to check the address of that. I'll check and then come back on this. Yeah. So that is how immutability works. So in notes, if you write, strings are immutable. And why? Because for memory optimization, Java developers have for memory optimization and for your security reason. Content of a string cannot be changed. Okay. Now we have two other classes called string buffer and string builder. Those are mutable string objects. String builder. Okay. Out of this, one is synchronized or thread safe, and other one is non-synchronized. Okay, we'll discuss this once we start with our object oriented programming. We'll discuss with this. As of now, we will play with strings only, otherwise you'll be quite confused. All right, now coming to the so that is all about strings, guys. This is I think enough for you to start with your Selenium programming, or rather, this is quite enough. These are the all functions which we use in string, and they would be quite enough to start with your string uh, manipulations. I'll give you one more program, right, wherein you have one integer number equal to, not integer number, one string number equal to string s equal to 1 2 3 4 5, right? And I am looking to reverse this, but without using any inbuilt methods. So whatever the method we used in our earlier program, right, char at, I don't want to use that. Okay, so I don't want to use that. Use this caret method, and I want to reverse this string. Output should be like 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, so this I will give you as an assignment. Okay, so we will quickly start with arrays here, guys. Otherwise, it will be too much with the strings. So arrays, what do you mean by arrays?
Set of data will be shown in rows and columns.
Sorry, Naresh, your voice was not clearly audible.
I was saying data stored in rows and columns. I'm audible.
Now you're audible, yeah. Disha, Sitara, any idea about arrays? What are arrays?
Yeah, so arrays are basically collection of same data type elements.
Okay. Okay. What else?
So it is index based and it starts with 0.
Okay. What else? Disha?
Yeah, same here. Similar data type it stores.
Why we need array basically?
When there is a, I mean, sequence of objects, at that time we can store them into the array and we can use it.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
collection, basically.
So in a single variable, what you are doing, you are storing only one value, right? Right.
Correct.
Correct. And let's say tomorrow there is a requirement to store 50 values in this variable.
Yeah, right. Then we can
How
use
will you do
array.
that? How will you do that? So we have one mechanism in Java or in any programming language to declare that variable as a array variable, right? And then array will give you flexibility to store 50 values here. So that size you have to define initially, and then you can store 50 values here. Okay. So arrays are basically those are an object, right? So in Java, arrays are an object. Arrays are an object which can store a fixed number of elements in single data type, right? So the length of array is established when it is declared or when it is created. The size of length actually is fixed, right? You cannot change once you declare that, you cannot change. Length is fixed and it starts with from 0 to n minus 1, where n is number of elements in array. I can have integer array, float array, integer as in all integer array, byte array, short array, long array. I can have float array for storing multiple floating values, double, char, boolean. Then I can have string arrays, which will store multiple string values. Okay. Now coming to the syntax part, how the array is declared. So int a, I will have to use curly braces after a variable name, and then I can write new int 5. Okay, this is the one way of declaring array. I can write like int a equal to new int 5. So this is also fine. This is another way of declaring an array. Okay, there is a is already there, so that's why it is giving error b. Okay, so in theory, first method is data type, array name, then this array name equal to new keyword data type followed by size. Array name index equal to value. Okay, so this is the declaration of array. This is defining the size of array. This is initializing the value, assigning a value rather. Okay, so for example, int a, okay, then a equal to new int 5. Okay, so the size of array would be 5. It is giving error. Okay, yeah, I don't have to use this. And then assigning the value a to a of 0 to, let's say 10, a of 1 to, let's say 15, a of 2 to, let's say 20, a of 3 to, let's say 40, a of 4 to, let's say 50. Okay, so this is the declaration of array. This is defining the size of array, and then this is assigning the value to array. Okay, now my array declaration is complete. And if I want to print all values in array, then I can print them using for loop. For int I equal to 0, I less than a dot length, and I plus plus is so a of I. Sorry, a of I. Okay, so it is printing all values of array. Now I have flexibility of storing multiple values in one variable. Okay, another way of declaring an array could be, this is the first method. Second method could be you can combine these two statements in one statement, and then you can write. So data type array name equal to new data type size followed by array declare, assigning value to array. Okay, Okay, third method could be it could be directly data type, array name, followed by assigning value directly 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it is the easiest way, right? In single line only, you are declaring an array, you are actually defining the size by initializing the value to array, and finally you are initializing the value to array. Okay, so if I remove this and directly write 10, 15, 20, 40, 50, and if I print this, okay, I will get the same output 10, 15, 20, 40, 50. Okay, so this is also the another way of declaring an array. Making sense, guys?
Yes, Ketan.
Okay, if I reassign the value of this, let's say I am changing the value at index 3 to, let's say, 100, what will happen? What will happen now? Will it replace the old value, or how it is? This meeting is going to end, guys. Let's log off and log on again. Yeah? Okay, so what will happen, Sitara, if I change the value from earlier value, like if I write this statement A3 equal to 100, what will happen in memory?
It will be replaced.
That will be replaced. Okay, Naresh?
Yeah, Nitin.
It will be replaced, right? Okay, no confusion about that, right? Okay, and it is replaced, and finally the latest value of value present at A3 is printed here. Okay, so this is called 1D array, guys, wherein you are having only one variable. Okay, now this is called 1D array, one dimensional array, wherein you are having only one variable. Okay, only one row, as in one row. I would say one row, only row, right? Similar to that, before that, what are the advantages of array, and what are the disadvantages of array?
As we can store many values in one array, there is no need to declare many variables.
Mm-hmm.
So memory wise, it is good.
Okay.
So that is the advantage.
What else?
Accessing the data readily is
Okay, what are the disadvantages of array?
Disadvantages would be different data type of variables, or I mean, thing we cannot store in one array.
Okay. So the first advantage is I can store multiple values in single variable. I can store multiple values in single variable. Okay, so that is first advantage. I mean, that is the biggest advantage of array, right? So you don't have to create multiple variables for storing similar data type of value. Single variable having same data type. Right. Second advantage could be those multiple variables can have the same value, same variable using single name, as in all multiple values can have a single name, right? Arrays can be used to perform matrix operations. Okay, wherein you will use rows and columns, right, which you will see in 2D array. Actually, rows and columns in 2D arrays, right? So these are the advantages of array. What are the disadvantages of array? Is array size is fixed. Okay, they are called static array. So the size of array is fixed.
But in multidimensional, size is not fixed, right?
No, size is fixed. Size is fixed. Even 2D arrays, the size is fixed. You will have a fixed size of rows and columns. You will have to define the length at the beginning only. Size is fixed, as in you need to define the length at the beginning only. So that is how it is. Right. So I am writing 5 values here only. Then only it will understand that I am declaring a array with 5 length 5. If I write here like int a equal to new int a, new int like this, it will give you error here. It will say boss size is not there. How are you declaring an array? Variable must provide either dimension expression or array and an array initializer, right? So this is the reason that these are called static array. The size is fixed, and that's why those are called static array. Okay. The second biggest disadvantage is I can store only similar type of data. Similar type of data. Right. So if I am declaring an integer array, I can store only integer values. If I am declaring a string array, I can store only string value. Okay. So this is the second disadvantage of array. Now, to overcome this disadvantage, we have collections, right? Collection as in array list or set or map or whatever it is, right? And for this overcoming this disadvantage, what we have object array. Okay. Before that, one method we use quite frequently in array also. So a dot length, right? So it will give the length of array. Okay, if you write this, it will give the length of array. So you will get 5. Yeah, and one more thing, if you do not initialize array, by default it will be initialized with 0. So we have not initialized this array with any values, right? We declared this array, then we assigned 100 to this fourth element, and finally we are printing from 0 to 4, right? So it is printing 0 0 0 followed by 100 and then 0. So the default value of array is 0. So array dot length, array name dot length actually will give the length of array, and by default 0 is the default value. Actually the default value of an element will be 0. Okay, what will be the value in case if we do not assign any value to a string array? If I have a string array here, and let's say I am giving value to Java, what will be the values at other locations?
No idea.
Naresh, can't hear you. You are speaking. Rather, you can type if you are having some background noise. You can type in chat window. So it would be null basically, because we don't have any values here. Okay. So in case of a string array, if we are not initializing that with any value, it would be null. Default value of any element will be 0 in case of integer array. Okay, and it would be null in case of string array. Fine. So these are the two most widely used arrays, right? In case of character array also it would be null only, because character also will not have anything to have. So let's say J, and then new char. Okay, it's not null, it is giving some garbage value. All right, so that is it about 1D array. Okay, now let's say tomorrow if I need to store information of a student, wherein what is his name, what is his roll number, what is his gender, what is his uh, you know uh, you know address, and what is his previous grade or something, then how I will store in that? For that I will have to create one object array. So we'll just discuss about object array and then we'll finish today's session. Otherwise we will not get time for our assignment. So object ob equal to new object. So let's say I'm having 6. Okay, ob dot name, ob dot ob of 0. Let's say I am writing here like name. Name, let's say Ansh. ob1, let's say I am having roll number, that's integer 2. ob dot let's say age. Age would again be an integer value, or maybe a floating value or double value having 2 dot or maybe 5.5. OB3, let's say gender, male. OB4, let's say his performance, or maybe integer हो गया, float, double, then his grades in last quarter, last year, A. Then OB5 is his address, let's say having 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z. Okay. So likewise, I can create one object array, and in that array, I can store the data having different data type. So this is a string type of data, this is integer type of data, this is double type of data, this is character type of data, this is character type of data, this is again string type of data. And this was not possible in our traditional array, which can store only a similar type of data. Okay, and I can print this. So first, let's say so ob dot size dot length होगा, it would be length, yeah, and then so not so for int I equal to 0. I can use enhance for loop here. So I will write object o colon ob, then so oh, okay. So this is the length of array, object array. This is name. This is his roll number. This is his age, his gender, followed by grades, and then his address. Okay. This is how we declare object array. And to store multiple objects, we use array list, wherein I can store multiple objects like this. So this is the information of one student, right? If I want to store information of 50 students, where would I store? I would store that in an array list. So we will have to create an array list of object type, like this. List object list equal to new array list of object type. Yeah, so it can hold the data of type object. And object is a superclass in Java, guys. So make a note of this. This is also a frequently asked question in object is a superclass in Java. And it has 8 methods. And it has 8 methods. All right. So we are covered up to 1D array and then object array. Tomorrow we will discuss about 2D array. We'll start our discussion with 2D array, followed by we will talk about input output, Java input output, how to take that input from console, how to read file from external file, how to read external file. That all we will see in tomorrow's session. Okay, so any confusion here? I cannot hear anyone's voice.